Good time you do.
Hello and welcome to another edition of Marked Out Wrestling Podcast. We're going to talk a whole shit ton tonight, Brian, because there's a lot to unpack. We've got to talk about all the stuff from the weekend. We got to talk about two humongous debuts that happened over the weekend. We have to talk about Dynamite from tonight. We just got a jam-packed show.
We do. Hello. We're wearing the same color T-shirt, and we did not actually coordinate that. That's
No, we didn't. So once again, I'm Adam Baum. Pointing the wrong way. We got Brian, Bionic Brian over here. Thank you to our executive producer who we got an update and didn't know what the heck to do. And thankfully he knew how to fix it. But surprisingly, Brian predicted everything, and we're starting on time, Brian.
Are we? I don't think we are.
I thought you set the stream for 10:45.
No, it was for 10:30.
Oh, well, fuck.
Yeah.
Oh, well. Joining us on the board are diehards who stuck around for that 15 minutes. Daniel Price, Christopher Stikelether, Rocky Patel. What's going on? So, Brian, let's start off with the debuts. Two big ones. And then I guess we could also talk about a little exit from MSK with a lot of drama going on there with Max, with Nash Carter. Nash Carter. Max Caster, Nash Carter. These things are all confusing. Yeah. But yeah, Nash Carter. Let's just briefly touch base there. I guess he had a kayfabe gimmick that was a Hitler thing, and him and his wife are having some issues, and it just all came to light out in social media and stuff.
Yeah, Kimberly, she's been pretty vocal, not vocal about it, but she's been posting stuff here and there over the past few weeks, and just kind of calling him out on it and whatnot, and putting WWE's handle or NXT, I forget who she did, but
both. The one that I saw of him in the Hitler mustache.
Yeah.
She had tagged both.
Yeah. So plus, the allegations that he was also physically abusive with her. Just all those things together. Yeah, you can't keep that guy. He's got to get the fuck out.
That whole thing. I understand. Jilted love and stuff like that, and WWE has. It's shame that WWE has to be like, until you're proven innocent, bye-bye.
Yeah.
Like, if he can exonerate himself, maybe they'll welcome him back. But for now...
Well, you could also hope... maybe they know enough where they think that, okay, maybe they're not telling us what... Maybe they know some stuff that we don't, I guess.
Yeah, there's more... There is some truth to what she's putting out there, and not just a crazy ex.
Right.
That's fair.
I just think that hopefully WWE did their due diligence, right? And hopefully, I'm confident that if they got rid of this guy, it's clearly he did something fucked up.
Yeah, but regardless, for us,
not to mention the whole Hitler thing, that's fucked up enough right there.
Oh yeah, dude. You notice I'm a little silent. I think for me, he killed himself with that one.
Yeah.
So
so stupid.
Yeah. So let's talk about the debuts. One of them not only debuted, but qualified for the Owen Hart. Now this is weird to me because Samoa Joe debuts Brian at Ring of Honor on Friday night and says he's all elite.
Yep.
But he showed up at Ring of Honor to declare that he's all elite.
Yeah, well, he showed up at Ring of Honor,
to declare he was all elite.
Yeah. Obviously they're working, it's not a secret that Ring of Honor is owned by
Well, it's not a secret
AEW.
that Joe got his first shot at stardom at Ring of Honor.
Right. So it makes sense to have him kind of focused more, I guess, with things revolving around ROH. Aside
from, Joe's age and he's a little injury prone at this stage of the game of his career. You said it best, and I want to touch on it. The way Tony reacted when he introduced him was way too markish. Like he was marking out in the moment, and if anybody knew he was coming, it was Tony would have been the first to know, right? Maybe Joe might have been first and Tony second.
Well, yeah, I mean, obviously Tony knew, but I think just the moment of, I think we're talking about that picture. I'm sure you guys have seen it. There's two different pictures of Tony on the stage with Samoa Joe right there. Yeah, I mean, he just looks like a fucking kid in a candy store, which I don't blame him. I mean, I'm excited too, but I don't know. I even texted, like, that's what you were talking about. I texted you guys. I'm like, I don't know if, like, that's such a good...
Like, he wants to be that way backstage, like, oh, what a great show. Fine. Yeah, but
love it.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I did not... It kind of turned me off to the moment, but Joe is all elite. Joe qualifies for the Owen Hart. I would like to see Joe be used better than the other quote-unquote old-timers that are, hanging around, like Sting and...
Well, I wouldn't put him in that. What about, like, someone like, Danielson? Like,
well, no, I would put Joe in that group because
yeah,
I think he's the injury-prone and the miles on his body. He's close in age to Punk, but Punk, let's just face it, as bigger guys, you carry more weight around, and I'm not jumping off a turnbuckle, Brian. I'm not, landing hard on my spine and joints, and I mean that takes a toll. Joe has a very clear ticking clock on his match, how much he's got left. That's why I'm comparing him more to Sting than Christian Cage or CM Punk, who are probably closest in age to him.
Yeah. And one thing I will say about Joe's match, I don't know if are we talking about it now or...
Yeah, we can talk about the match.
I mean, speaking of just him being I don't want to say injury prone because I feel like that's a negative. He's had a multitude of injuries collected in his career, I'll say. But him doing the dive, like what he did tonight, I just don't do that. It's such a wasted move, I feel like.
I don't remember.
Always does dive, so like I don't know, him doing it I don't want him to get fucking just banged up on a stupid move like that. I don't know. Well, how do you feel the same way or
my thing? And I can't remember if it was you or Brian or you or Rob that pointed it out. We were talking about like somebody like The Miz and how safe of a worker he actually is.
Yeah.
And it got me thinking. But yeah, you're right. At this stage of because it got me watching WWE and really comparing. AJ Styles, X Division AJ Styles from TNA days to WWE era.
Oh,
he wrestles more like, a safe guy, and WWE wants to keep his longevity. He's got 4 or 5 kids. So you've got to have that. He doesn't wrestle like he used to. Joe needs to understand that.
I hope so.
I bet you Joe and Tony were like, this is your debut, man. You got to go out there and be big. He's like, yeah, I got to be big. We're going to go full bore. And you just can't do that. I mean, especially coming back from an injury after an injury.
Right. And he was surprised that he used the muscle buster. I mean, I know it's not like that dangerous of a move, but I don't know. They put it on the shelf for a while in WWE.
Yeah, because Tyson Kidd.
Right.
I was pleasantly on the board. Surprised. He says,
hey.
I love Joe, but I feel bad for Max Caster. He just comes out to be a jobber. He's a great athlete. Caster, I mean, that's fair. Yeah. Caster, this isn't the first time Caster's come out and put on a good match. Right?
No, he's solid in the ring.
That's
definitely.
Fair for Stike to say he feels bad. DP says Joe is both AEW and Ring of Honor.
Well, I mean, a lot like FTR, like they're basically a crossover as well.
I mean, anybody that's elite can do whatever they want. That's the beauty of their contracts.
Yeah, I wonder how that works, actually.
I'm wondering how it works if it came down to an injury. Like, in Ring of Honor is all under one umbrella of Tony now, Brian. But what would happen if Joey Janela had that show that he had a few weeks ago that he organized, and some guys from AEW were on it? What if they got hurt at that show? Does Tony say, you're effed, contract null and void because you got hurt there? That's the risk you take.
I mean, if it was something that was like approved by AEW, then I'm sure AEW would cover it, whatever the injury was or whatever. But if it were something that they just kind of
approved, like Tony says no to anything. Come on,
I mean, he
said
no to Danielson.
Come on. All right. The other big debut of the weekend, Cody Rhodes. We heard the rumblings, we heard the rumors, we kind of saw the writing on the wall, Brian, when Vince said, I'm going to name your opponent that night. We don't just have to talk about Cody coming out and the match with Seth. We can also talk about the promo from Raw.
Yeah.
I think that all of it is very telling. First of all, he won against Seth. And Seth put on another great match. Seth is a great worker. Seth understands the business. And Seth, even in his loss, instead of talking about his loss, was talking about Dave Meltzer. And if he would make it a 6-star or 8 or 9 or whatever the hell, he's just going to make up star matches. I can't remember the exact quote, but it was pretty.
9 stars, 10 stars.
Yeah, he was like, "Get out!" It was pretty obvious he was mocking Meltzer.
Oh, 100%.
But and if we're gonna do apples to apples of the debuts, Samoa Joe and Cody Rhodes on paper, name ID are very, very similar, right? Like their status in the wrestling world is
Samoa Joe and who?
Samoa Joe and Cody.
And Cody. I mean, Samoa Joe has been around fucking way longer.
But both are quote unquote household names in the mark community or the wrestling community.
Sure. Oh,
okay.
Yeah.
Cody's got legs.
Different levels, I would say, but
yeah. But Cody's got legs and could go longer. Where Joe, like I said, he's a ticking clock here. So I think the push in terms of the signings, it's in WWE's favor. And the promo that Cody cut kind of spoke to everything that we were speculating. Brian is, he's just going to go back and be an IC champ. He said he has to fulfill his family's legacy.
24/7. Do you think he's really going to win any major championship this year?
I think that he could. I know they'll give him a shot, Brian. This is definitely a program to give him a shot. If they create a new title on the other show, like for Raw, to keep Roman on SmackDown, since Roman just shit all over everything on Monday.
Isn't he hurt now?
I don't know. There's a lot of unconfirmed rumors. He definitely. I mean, he could have just popped his shoulder out of place, but there was a lot of discoloring up here from it. So I just don't know. But I thought Cody had one of the better matches of the weekend. For sure, top 5, maybe top 3 with Seth.
Oh yeah, it was a good match.
I'm trying to be optimistic here, Brian. I know that the WWE Universe cheered.
Oh, they definitely did.
Spike says, I've never heard a pop like he got. I thought the roof was going to blow off. So I think there was an interview, and I don't know if it was credible or not, but Cody was basically saying, I bit off more than I could chew. I'm not an executive. I'm not an EVP. I didn't know how to handle it. I tried to do this, I tried to do that, and even if I owned up to it, I still got the blame. And he's right.
He's right. He is right.
Anything that the AEW stands are willing to admit is wrong was put on him. And everything that's right is all hail Booker of the Year, Tony Khan. So, I mean, it was a shitty position that he was in. Because good or bad, we don't know whose ideas were what backstage, right, Brian?
Sure.
But every good idea was Tony's, and every bad idea was Cody's. In terms of just the AEW fan base is what I'm thinking. Like, we were guilty of it in WWE. Oh, that's Kevin Dunn. Fucking Kevin Dunn. That's definitely a Kevin Dunn decision. That's a Bruce Pritchard decision. We would blame other people with no knowledge of who it actually was.
Yeah.
And I feel Cody was victimized that, and I also feel that his wife didn't do him any favors a lot of times.
Yeah, but I mean, also we don't know. Obviously we weren't fucking there, so we don't know how the inner workings and stuff. And obviously we heard that there was some friction between all the other EVPs and like you said, you touched on it with Brandy and some of that stuff. Who knows what's true, what's not? There's some stories coming out about it, but Cody has even said he's like, I'm not going to do a shoot interview or anything like that.
No, I like that what he did say. If that was, I couldn't find out if it was confirmed, but if that's true, I like what he said. He didn't say, well, Tony's a fucking scumbag and I hate the Bucks. Right. He took it upon himself. He said, here's where I failed.
He also said there was something personal. He said there was a personal thing, or I forget how he worded it, but that's the other weird.
He said he thought he would do right by the fans by, putting himself in a position to never take the top belt.
No, that's not what I was referring to, but yeah.
But that was one of the things in what I read, that he was like, I tried to do that there, and
Yeah, he said, what did he say? He said, I was the king of absolutes for the past 6 years, something like that. Like him making all these claims and, like you said, not going for the main championship. Like, it's a mess. And he can't fucking bleed now either. We're not going to see Cody bleed.
Yeah. So wait, what do you mean he can't bleed?
He's not going to bleed in WWE.
Dude, he's the inadvertent bleeder. You have no fear.
If that happens,
have no fear. Cody takes the WWE title. Drew takes the Universal title. Is Roman for sure injured? I heard there's a possibility 3 to 6 months.
That's injured.
Yeah. But I couldn't find out confirmation on it, so I'm trying to read here. The fact that Cody used certain terminology that WWE doesn't like to use, like wrestler or belt, lends me to believe he either has some creative control or has some say in his character. I'm sure it was just he's not used to the rhetoric. I'm sure if that's still something he's not allowed to say, he went backstage like, dude, I know you haven't been here in 6 years, but we don't say title, or whatever.
Dude, it's gonna be inevitable. They gotta butt heads at some point. Like, it's just bound to happen, I think.
Yeah. I don't know. The personal thing was ego. Khan wants Punk to have the title. Cody wanted to do it the story he's doing in WWE now. Got to do it for Dusty, etc. It makes better sense to got to do it for Dusty in WWE.
I was going to say.
If you have NWA or WCW as options, they would be better than that. But WWE is the closest thing to a legacy. And Dusty believed and worked in NXT till his dying day.
So maybe he can go back. Maybe Cody's the one that brings back NXT Black and Gold.
No, that was the other thing that he said in there. He has no interest.
Oh, that's right.
In being an EVP or any kind.
Yeah.
So let's talk about Mania as a whole. We talked about that match. I believe a couple others stand out. Obviously, Stone Cold and KO.
Mm-hmm.
Bianca and Becky.
Yep.
Sami Zayn and Johnny Knoxville, which I thought was going to be a bathroom break.
Some people gave that one shit.
Is there any other match that was any good?
Logan Paul. That was pretty solid considering. I don't know about you, but I had pretty low.
I had a low expectation on it, but
low bar.
I didn't see it with any weird goggles. Any exchange between him and Dominic was just like, ugh. And Miz obviously carried the match and made the ending worthwhile by turning on him. The 2 tag team championship matches. Sorry for Boogs who got hurt, but both needed something else. I think the triple threat should have been a ladder match or something. And
what was it with Boogs? I know it was his knee, but did they say like what?
I didn't follow back up. I didn't care.
No, yeah.
I gotta talk about the main event though. Well, let's first talk about Charlotte and Ronda. That was crap. Ronda. If that dirt sheet is true, Brian, that she thought she should have main evented night 1 over Stone Cold.
She addressed that apparently, and there was also rumors. I don't know if you heard it about her walking out or leaving the Hall of Fame the night
SmackDown,
before.
Yes.
Apparently, she was taking care of her kid. That was like she even addressed it. Said like, I don't know where this is all coming from. Like I have a baby like to go take care of.
That's fair.
Apparently, it was a non-issue.
I'm glad she stuck up for herself.
Yeah. Right.
But I mean. Let's talk about that for a minute. 19 years since Stone Cold's been in a ring. And he looked damn good.
He looked good, man. He looked really good. KO's promo, like, just firing the whole crowd up right before he came out, too. Oh,
dude, and I liked the way it was done. I liked the way it was teased. I liked the way it came to fruition. I liked the way he goes, you know what? All right. And for a guy who we saw kind of having a hard time walking to the ring back in the day. I know they've made advancements and whatever, but he looks pretty good.
He looked great. I mean, he took a couple suplexes. He took one on the fucking outside.
Oh, yeah, I think he took one and gave one. Reminded me of him and Mankind.
Yeah, man. Like, I'm not really that big of a... I don't really like hardcore matches or no DQ, like just, I don't know, all the brawling stuff. But, man, I miss it with Stone Cold. He was just the fucking best at it. And
I always interpreted a no DQ was we're not going to do countouts.
Yeah, I forget what do they call it? Or was it just no DQ? Or
I thought no holds barred.
No holds barred, right.
Yeah. Check your levels, Adam. You went a little quiet. Oh, sorry. Let me just move that up.
You're a little quiet.
That never happens to me.
Huh.
Boogs tore a ligament. It buckled like that, and he went down hard. Patella quad tear, I think, is what Rocky says. Edge versus AJ. Yeah, that one disappointed me. I expected a little more. I didn't expect anything from Ronda and Charlotte, so I knew that was going to be terrible.
No.
I expected more out of Brock and Roman, but if Roman got hurt and they had to end it there. My problem with that one, Brian, is 8 years ago, the best thing about their rivalry at Mania was Seth.
Mm-hmm.
And here we are 8 years later. They fought so many times and they didn't do anything differently. No last man standing. No, I quit. I'm with you. You don't need a hardcore stipulation, but they should have had a cage.
AJ and Edge?
No, I'm talking like Roman and Brock.
Oh, Roman and Brock. I'm sorry.
I said those are the two that disappointed me. Edge and AJ and the Roman and Brock. Sorry, I segued bad there, but Edge
you're good.
Yeah, to go back, if you want, Edge and AJ, there's something missing.
Yeah.
I'm not even sure what.
Well, I mean, Damian Priest coming out, that was interesting. That was different.
That was fine. Cool. That has nothing to do with AJ. That's
no, I know.
Edge starting a faction.
Yeah.
I thought we were going to get a better match.
How long was it?
16 minutes or so.
No.
It was under 20.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, there wasn't anything on the line. Like,
no.
I don't know. I mean, maybe you're right. Like, well, I don't know. I think this one could have benefited more from a stipulation. I don't know.
I mean, you don't have to have everything clean, and everything was clean this weekend. With the exception of Sami Zayn, everything was clean.
Right. Well, I mean, you had the Austin match, which was no rules or whatever, so that was kind of all over.
Yeah. Stike says Becky versus Bianca was pure fire. That was probably match of the weekend to me.
I got to be honest. I actually haven't watched that one yet. It's the only one I haven't watched.
Well, the other one I want to talk about real quick, and then we'll go on to the final thing I want to say about Mania. So Austin Theory and Pat McAfee kind of surprised me.
I mean, we've seen McAfee shine before, so.
But my level of interest in Pat McAfee as a face, because on NXT he was full heel. Here he was getting the face treatment. And we see probably one of the best stunners I think I've ever seen to Austin Theory.
Oh, I thought you were going to say to Vince.
And then it's followed by probably the worst one ever, where Vince went down early. And the thing is how many times have we seen the Vince fall for it? Like, let's have a beer. Stone Cold's like, let's have a beer. Ever since the feud has been over and they've just done the reunion tour, it's let's cheers and then go on.
Yeah, I mean, you have to do it. That's what the crowd, that's what they want to see with Austin, man. That's part of his shtick. But that was a fucking brutal. I don't know. Like, you can even see Austin, like, it looked like he was laughing a little bit when Vince, like, when they backed up on the rope a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, and it was fine. I mean, it's fine. The guy's 80.
Yeah, I'm
Stone
surprised
Cold proved everything he needed to the night before. He was just out there for one final farewell, and that's my final point, Brian, here is part of this weekend, I think Mania hit a home run for me, and why Raw fell so flat on Monday is because of the goodbyes. I feel like we finally got to say goodbye to Stone Cold the right way.
Oh, yeah.
Because the way he walked out and everything, you know, when he originally left the ring was just, it wasn't right. It wasn't right for the fans. It wasn't right for the business. And this gave us that moment back.
It totally did. I mean, I feel like the whole weekend was kind of like that.
And then,
Taker and Triple H.
So we got to say goodbye to Taker. And night 2, you know, my guy, my GOAT is Triple H. If there's any question, if anyone doesn't know, my GOAT is Triple H. And starting off night 2, with him being pretty simple, he didn't go crazy. We know Hunter can talk. He didn't need to here.
Yeah, we didn't get that. Which
he put his boots in the ring and just gave us something.
Yeah.
And it was enough.
Well, I will say,
enough.
Weren't we there when Taker did that?
Taker took off his uniform and wrestled for a few more years. This is different.
No, he took his gloves and his hat off.
H is gone. And this was, we at least got something. I got to see the Mist one more time. I got to hear the music play. I got to go a little crazy. And we might have seen the end of at least the VKM Vince McMahon of old character.
Yeah, that's another one too.
So I mean, this is the, I know they made a big deal when it was Triple H and Taker in a cell with Michaels as the guest referee, and they build that the end of the era.
Yeah, that's
match.
what it was.
This is for real, and it just hit you in the feels all weekend long.
Trying to think. Do you think that out of the three of them, which one do you think would have a match first, or which one do you think will have a match first?
Out of Stone Cold, Taker, and
well, Triple H, I guess he's done.
Yeah, Triple H is done, dude.
He can't. Yeah, he can't do it.
I saw the way he hugged his 3 daughters. He was there to say goodbye to the fans, and basically show, hey, I'm picking my family and my health, and good for you.
You don't think he's still going to be involved though? Like, I feel like he's going to come back.
No,
at some
fuck it.
point.
He doesn't need to be, Brian. Let him walk into the sunset.
No, I mean, not as like a performer in any way.
I
like
think
on-air person. I just mean like backstage something.
I think Taker could come back because I think Taker could be just
GM
come back to promote his TED Talks.
Oh yeah, that's true. Or he could put Teddy Long in tag matches.
Holla holla.
You go one-on-one with Teddy Long. Holla, holla.
I could see them maybe doing another Austin, but I don't think they need to. As they're saying on the board, Stike says he started his career in Texas, he ends it in Texas. And he finally ends it the right way. Like I said, I think that goes without saying. I did forget to mention Gable Stevenson. I feel like if WWE does it right and there is a chance that Roman fights Rock at next year's Mania, still holding the title, Gable Stevenson is the one to take him down. If they have a year to build him, do him up right like they did when Brock originally came through, and have him be the guy to take down Roman.
Gable Stevenson?
Yeah. I think it's so perfect. You have him just like Brock did. Pick a tag wrestler, fight him one-on-one your first thing, and then fight the partner, then fight the tag so you look strong in the handicap, then go on to a bigger fish. Brock Lesnar's first 3 feuds were Jeff Hardy, Matt Hardy, and then the Hardy Boys. So he can start off against Chad Gable, then fight Otis, then beat them both. And keep moving up the ladder. And then eventually got to go to the champ. If you want to do it like the next big thing, just do it like the next big thing. Do it right. Don't put him at his 3rd match ever facing Roman. Don't do that shit.
Right. Put him in fucking.
And Daniel Price said he's going to be in trouble on promos. Give him someone. Doesn't matter who. Give him someone.
Give him Mojo Rawley. Bring him back. He could be his mouthpiece.
I like the idea they were talking about Omos getting MVP as his mouthpiece. Maybe that's what Shane O'Mac, since they said that he might be back, is there for. Maybe he's the mouthpiece for Gable Stevenson.
Oh my God! Please no.
He can at least talk.
Yeah, he can talk, but everyone fucking can't stand him.
Okay, yeah.
I mean,
can't stand you. Can't stand you.
Can't stand you.
All right. Thank you, Hunter, Austin, Taker, even you, Vince. Let's get to Dynamite tonight. Match of the night for me and you, Brian. Then we're gonna do segment of the night, marked out moment for the weekend, and petty moment for the weekend.
Ooh, I like that. Okay.
So I'm gonna have to rethink my petty. I had Rhonda. But if she was taking care of her kid, I'll give her a pass.
Oh, so we're doing petty first?
No. I was just saying, I'm just talking out loud. Match of the night is what we're going first. Okay. I got all excited about this because I half forgot Brian in my brain. I don't know what was going on. I just half forgot. But I'm like, Christian Cage, Adam Cole, this is awesome. I like both wrestlers. I think they both can go. This is going to be a good match, and it was. And then at the end, Red Dragon and Jurassic Express come out, and I'm like, oh, yeah. I forgot about this.
I'm pretty sure it's Re-Dragon.
Who cares?
I'm kidding. It's Red Dragon.
It could be Dr. Aegon.
You know how, when people say, when they say, resigned or re-signed? It's
I don't know.
2 completely opposite things, but,
yeah.
I don't know. I'm rambling.
Yeah. So that's my match of the night. What was yours?
Yes, my match of the night was the tables match. Butcher and Blade versus the Hardys. Fucking crazy to see Jeff Hardy taking those bumps still, just on regular old free-ass TV at 44 years old. But fun match. I know some people gave some shit to Matt Hardy. I think that, I don't know. I'm just more stoked for Butcher and Blade. It's fucking awesome being able to have him at, I don't know. Just being able to say that you had a tables match against the Hardys on TV, that's fucking cool.
See, this is what I want though, Brian. This is and I think you want to do it right. Somebody like Butcher and Blade are the perfect ones to do it. And we've had long talks about this, but this was it right here. They should have won tonight. They should have won. There's Jeff Hardy and Matt Hardy have survived in any company, anywhere, thrived in plenty of versions of their gimmicks.
Yeah.
Always over with the fans. Take the L. Have it be out of nowhere. third week that they're together out of nowhere, and it's Butcher and Blade. Elevate them.
Right. I mean, it would elevate them, and then you can also, I don't know, obviously people are saying that they think that they're going to go broken again, so Matt will get all crazy, and Jeff will.
How do you get to broken? You got to go with an L.
Streak. Right.
And I know you're a big Butcher fan, but I still remember Butcher and Blade from the original AEW days. And they've not gotten their due. They put the time in that. Butcher got hurt, and they just went kind of back of the line.
Yeah.
It sucks.
Yeah. It does suck, Adam.
Push them back up.
Push them.
Segment of the night for me, Tony Jamie has done it again. I liked, we got Tony Schiavone with...
Tony Schiavone.
Yeah. With Tony Storm and Jamie Hayter. All week, people have been salivating at since Tony debuted at like, oh, Tony versus Jamie. Tony versus Jamie.
Yeah.
I don't know enough about them. I only know Tony from WWE and NXT, and I only know Jamie from AEW.
Yeah.
But this could be really good. I just wonder if they're going to do something stupid and like telegraph that they're going to meet in the Owen Hart finals or something. Like make them meet in an early round. Like remember what they did with Lance Archer and Cody? It was obvious that they were going to meet. I don't want to see that. I want to see it early. I want to see it maybe even as a first rounder.
First rounder, really?
Yeah, I'm just saying.
That's a little out there.
DP Stevenson's bland as hell on promo. And Stike says Brock and Gable will get into it. Oh yeah, at some point, you just can't start there. And then Stike says match of the night was Julia Hart versus Sheeta.
Really?
I don't know about that. What's your segment of the night, Brian?
Segment of the night is actually different from the one I told you before we went live, but I think I'm gonna have to change it to.
You changed production on me?
I did. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Jade Cargill. Her live promo. I thought it was pretty good. Introducing the baddie section. And just Mark Sterling. He's great. Fucking just ripping on the crowd too. I thought she did a great job. I can't remember. I think this was. I can't recall of any time of her doing a promo. Maybe in the beginning.
See, I think her gimmick. I think her promo. I think they're solid. She needs some work in the ring. This reminds me. Yeah. She reminds me of the early days of Trish Stratus, where like we know you can talk. We know you got that. Fix your ring shit.
Really, you think Trish could talk early on? I don't know. That's
when she became a singles wrestler, she could talk. She had gone through as a valet and learned and
right.
You know, when she
was kind of quiet when she was a valet.
Yeah, when she was with Test and Albert, you know, she kind of slowly got her chops and got a little better promo, so that by the end, when she became a singles wrestler, when Test and Albert went their separate ways and she became a wrestler, she had a better promo there.
Right.
And call it what you will, she got those cheap pops, but for a Canadian, I thought it was a good promo. Low bar. So that was your segment of the night?
That was my segment, yes.
All right, so marked out for the weekend. Brian, I'm going to let you go first because I got two that I got one. I only got one. Go ahead, Brian.
Yeah, I mean, I think I have to say Briscoes and FTR from Ring of Honor, Supercard of Honor.
You have to say that?
I have to say it.
Okay.
I'm contractually obligated to say it, actually.
Okay, Meltzer.
Yeah. Match is fucking awesome. People are shitting on the ending with the Bucks coming out and they didn't get involved in the match.
Since you want to bring that up, why the match didn't need the Bucks to come out at the end?
Well, the match was already over.
Right.
So it's not like they caused
No, that's my point. That's what they do with the coattails. Like Kenny had put on so many good matches. Kenny Omega during his title run. Well, not so many. Let's say a couple. he put on what people would act like was a great match.
Yeah.
I saw two. The one I remember the most was Pac and Orange Cassidy in the triple threat. But after he wins, like, why did the Bucks have to come out? It's not like the whole faction. It's not like Michael Nakazawa and Cutler came out. Right. It would just be the Bucks. The Bucks always have to come out. The Bucks always have to show up. This moment was about what everybody in IWC has been clamoring about for probably 5 years. This is a Mark's wet dream, Brian, of Briscoes and FTR. And the Bucks had to stick their fucking nose in it just to get a little mention on the tagline at the bottom, like that they showed up at the end.
Well, I think it was to also set up tonight, but
I don't care.
Yeah.
That's bullshit. They were not needed in that moment. Because the other thing is this is not the only time a one-off or whatever you want to call it that FTR is going to fight the Briscoes. There's going to be at least a trilogy over the course of whatever.
Yeah. Well, the only issue, though, is apparently the Briscoes aren't going to be on AEW TV. Like, they're not going to be on Dynamite. They're not going to be on Rampage.
Okay.
Per TBS.
Oh, wow. So much good, so much easier. Then you have a reason to keep the FTR all over Rampage or Dynamite talking shit. And then the next time Ring of Honor comes, it's time for them to, next event, it's time for them to do part 2.
Right.
You know, do it that way. That way you can hide behind the fact that TBS won't let us do this. We have to do it.
I think because of it, though, and I don't know whether or not it's true or not, but apparently because of all this stuff going on with TBS and the Briscoes, and I don't know if it's true, again, I'll say that, it sounds like the Briscoes are leaning more towards Impact.
Oh. So they're not actually signed?
Apparently not, no. They haven't made the graphic yet. That hasn't come out yet or anything. But, I mean, obviously they're tied to Ring of Honor. I don't know if it's just...
But they're not all elite.
No, I heard... you could kind of hear the sound effect. Oh, actually, no, you could probably hear it on the...
So my marked out for the weekend. Fuck FTR Briscoes. I'm sorry, the Bucks ruined that shit for me. Mine is, it's fucking obvious, Brian. Stone Cold Steve Austin. First match in 19 years, and nobody better, I think, could have been chosen than somebody who like looked up to him his whole career, showed the pictures. This is not some bullshit MJF CM Punk thing where they met once. Like, Austin and KO have had talks, you know, and kind of thing. And this was, if anybody wondered why KO re-signed with WWE, it was for that fucking match this weekend. Guaranteed, Brian. And he doesn't give a shit. He doesn't care anymore. Like you just gave him just the most amazing thing. That loss, him taking the stunner, like every bit of it.
Oh my God, yeah.
And you know he told Austin, he said, lay into me. Just do it. We're gonna put on a hell of a show.
Right.
I loved it. That was my marked out.
That was your marked out.
Oh yeah, for the weekend. Wow. Hands down.
Wow.
Stike says Bianca and Becky. My marked out for the weekend was Pat McAfee's Swanton Bomb. Other than Theory moving out of the way, it was flawless. And if Warner Media has anything to say about it, you'll never see the Briscoes on Warner TV. I don't care. I mean,
so what do you mean? What do you?
I don't care.
Let me start again. How do you not care? What do you not care about?
I don't care. I don't have faith. I don't have faith in Booker of the Year.
Oh, okay.
I don't have faith in Booker of the Year. And guess what? I watch more Impact than I do Rampage.
I don't think you don't watch Impact, do you?
Yes. All the time.
All the time?
All the time.
You've never told me this.
There's a big problem with that, though, Brian.
What?
If you have... I primarily watch it on Pluto.
Oh, okay.
But I think it's on Tubi, and I think it's on whatever. I'm watching Impact a lot of time that's up to 6 months old. So,
right.
I mean, I'm watching a feud blossom that's already in real life ended. Because it's just an alternative for me to watch. You know, do I watch it religiously? No, obviously not. But I don't mind watching the old ones. I got hooked on the channel at first because they would show old TNA pay-per-views. Now they show old episodes of Impact to just kind of catch you up.
Random ones, so good.
Yeah. And you can watch like a marathon. I don't know, it's great. So we reached that point of the weekend.
Have we?
Where it comes to the petty town.
Oh.
For me, it's simple. Main event of WrestleMania weekend. I thought it was too similar to so many matches. I get that it's title versus title, straight up or whatever, but I don't think you needed to go hardcore or crazy. You should have maybe a steel cage, maybe an I Quit match, or maybe last man standing. I think those are all reasonable stipulations without taking, too much away. You're not adding chairs and tables and all that shit. But it should not have just been straight up. After how long this feud has happened and that they fought 8 years ago, come on. Go ahead, Brian. What's your
point.
petty?
Let's see. Petty. Man. I had one and now I just forgot it. It's of the weekend, right?
Yeah.
The whole weekend. Petty. You know what? This is very petty. I'm going to think about it, actually. Let me think about it. You know what? This is fucking stupid. I'll just say Brock and Roman. I wish the match would have went longer, but I know Roman apparently got hurt. Because I didn't watch it live. I fell asleep. So then I watched it the next day, and I wanted the match to go longer, but it didn't. So that's my petty.
It was the same
shitty
by numbers match we've seen. F5, Superman punch, spear, like finisher frenzy, suplex.
Right.
Like there was no real story to tell. I mean, Paul did his job. Finish him, my tribal chief, and all the stuff that Paul did on the outside. But nothing else was there.
No.
Rocky says, my petty is New Day losing. I think New Day should have won. I told you what should have happened. You don't need Big E. You need Big E there, but not there, Brian. Big E's music should have hit. It causes the distraction. New Day wins on the pin. And then you have Big E live via satellite say, New Day rocks. And they have a big celebration.
That would have been cool.
I mean, everybody expected. My petty award is the interim Ring of Honor Women's Champion. To me, you don't need an interim champion. To me, it's another Cody and Sammy situation. Stike says.
That's interesting.
I don't know the story, but sure. What is DB saying? F Tony Storm. She was smacked out as what? Smacked out as hell during a Q&A over the weekend. Jeff Hardy was as well. What does that mean? Smacked out? Were they drunk?
Either drunk or high or something, I suppose.
Both.
Yeah, it could be both. Who knows?
Yeah, DP's right. I didn't think of it this way. I've seen all this stuff like out in front. But if Tony Khan's running that place like a frat house, it's going to end badly.
Right.
I think somebody posed a question online and I didn't know how to answer it, Brian. So I'm going to pose it to you.
Okay.
Who's more nauseating? Sammy and Ty or Carmella and Corey? They both annoy the fuck out of me right now.
Well, let me ask you this. Why Carmella and Corey? Like, because of their on-air personas? Or
now they're going full out. Like, the whole thing. Every time Carmella was there or Corey couldn't wait to mention that, hey, we're getting married. Hey, we're getting married. Hey, we're getting married this weekend. Oh, look at that dress. Look at this. Like, this isn't about you.
Right. Yeah, it's not.
This is WrestleMania. Your reality show nobody wanted to watch. It's free on YouTube. Still nobody's watching.
Right.
Yeah, I just yeah. So you didn't tell me your answer.
Oh, wait, what was your question?
Who's worse? Which?
Oh, who's worse? I'm gonna have to say Sammy and Ty, just because of the stuff that led to it, and them saying, "Oh, we're leave us stop talking about us," but then they'll post ridiculous shit.
Rocky says Carmella and Corey, we have to hear about it every single episode. Yeah, I guess at least Ty and Sammy don't get booked as often.
Right.
Ruin. So I want to close out with a little bit of fun for a second. I'm going to turn it over to you, Brian.
Okay, I like fun.
Brian has never seen Star Wars, but he's taken it upon himself to learn some fun facts, and one was about a brothel, if you will.
Yeah. Well, it's not a well-known fact, but what's his name? George Lucas, the guy that made Star Wars or wrote. Did he write it, direct it? I don't know what he created.
Everybody knows who George Lucas is.
Yeah, so it's
George Lucas directed one of them. He wrote all of them, but his primary source of Star Wars was a movie called Hidden Fortress that starred Toshiro Mifune, and it was directed by the legendary Akira Kurosawa.
Yeah. Well, he actually did the Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants, too. That's one of the ones that is less talked about. Not the one from the 90s. I'm talking about where 2000. There was one back from the 70s, I believe, where it was actually George Lucas who really... Say it again?
What are you talking about? George Lucas and the Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants?
Yeah.
Are you on IMDb or some shit?
No, he's the true creator of it.
Tell your brothel story while I fact check.
That is my story. I don't. Or are you referring to George Lucas's brother, who ran a gay brothel? That's the one you're talking about?
No, the one you said that's where he was writing the movies from or something.
Yeah, that his brother was his ghostwriter, but his brother owned a gay brothel out in, I think it was like Des Moines or something. I don't know. I mean, it's just
you sent a wait a second. I'm fighting this text because there's a reason I gave this a segment. Let me see what you wrote.
I'm surprised that you gave this a segment, but
you wrote. Did you know George Lucas wrote the first 3 films growing up in a gay brothel?
Yes.
So he wrote them in a gay brothel. That's what I was trying to get you to tell. I don't know what the hell you just said. But that's not what you said.
Well, no, I didn't know that. Okay, that goes even before the Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants. So I was talking about his brother Stefan, but you're talking about his father and the brothel that they grew up at, where he wrote Star Wars. Wow. So that was before Sisterhood. But yeah, that's so. At your next,
does anybody speak Brian?
Party? Say it again.
I need subtitles. Anybody speak Brian? Anyone?
Oh, subtitles. Yeah.
Anyone? No. I have no idea what he just said.
Well, it's in this book that I got. It's short stories of Star Wars. I'll show it to you one day.
One day.
I'll show it to you. One day.
Fucking liar.
One day, Adam.
King was not funny at all during the pre-show. King's gimmick, Rocky, is over. It's done. But apparently Rocky's saying that he's going to fill in for Corey while he's on his honeymoon. I'll take Jerry the King Lawler and his outdated gimmick and his bad jokes and all that shit over Corey Graves any day. So, just say it. My personal opinion. Brian, final thoughts. We'll be back to normal, guys. Covering Dynamite in a little more detail next week. Remember, we are the flagship show of Marked Out Wrestling Podcast.
We are.
Because Brian has set another record with how many shows is it that are canceled now?
Sir, no, it is not canceled. We are on hiatus. Kyle is in the process of moving right now, so we've had to take a little pause, and we all have a lot of things going on, so we figured it would be best to just press that little pause button. Doesn't mean we can't come back. It's not canceled. It's not canceled.
Oh, these sound effects don't work.
See?
You're canceled.
No.
I'll have to figure out how to turn the sound effects up.
Yeah, way to go.
So people can hear them. Dude, it was rough. Our executive producer had to get the show up. So my final thought is just thank you to Rob. Whatever update happened between last week and this week, we needed a fix. We'll be back next week. We are not on hiatus or canceled or whatever Brian's excuse mountain loophole is.
That's not nice.
But we'll see you next week. Same smart time, same smart channel.
I'll catch you on the flip side.
A flippity flop.
I'll catch you on the flippity flop.
97X.
Marked Out Podcast is produced and edited by U-Record Studios and is recorded live from Charlotte, North Carolina. Subscribe, follow, and listen to us live following WWE programming on YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook Live. Download the podcast by following us at podbean.com or subscribe on iTunes and Apple Podcasts. While you're there, go ahead and give us an honest and fair review and rating. Finally, if you have enjoyed our product and would like to see us grow, please donate to us by visiting the donation link below our live video, or you can donate via Venmo and Cash App at the handle Ravepro. That's RAVEPRO.
You're listening to the Electronic Media Collective Podcast Network. Yeah, it's a mouthful. For more great shows, visit electronicmediacollective.com.